Hi everyone, this is week 3, discussion number 3, talking about a paragraph that I wrote that elicited a significant or surprising response. It took me a while to think about what paragraph I wanted to talk about. Obviously, I'm just getting back into the school scene, and majority of the time I'm not writing like long paragraphs to anyone. It's more like short little snippets, and like emails and that kind of thing. But I think the most impactful paragraph that I wrote was for my entrance into college. And I was talking about a hardship that happened in my life, and I chose to write about the death of my brother and how I've overcome that and become resilient, and um, how I've learned to choose joy over grief. My intended audience was like the admissions people at the school. I guess they reacted how I expected them to react. I was able to skip writing class because of the impact of my writing, which was kind of nice. And it was also impactful for me because, I don't really talk a lot about the grief that I still hold on to because of his passing. So I think it's sometimes nice to write that out on paper and share it with other people. Yeah. And I guess it's influenced my view on the power of writing because I feel like you can be super descriptive and talk about like grief and that kind of thing in a way that doesn't sound like a sob story, because that was my initial thought when I started writing about his death and how that's impacted me. Was, okay, I don't want this to seem like a sob story, but I want to utilize this experience because it was super impactful for me. And then as far as like specific techniques or word choices, most of the time when I'm writing stories about my own life, I like to use like sound descriptions and, like what I might have been smelling or hearing, and those kinds of things. I think that's helpful for readers to kind of pull them into your world and see like what you were going through. And I guess what I learned from this experience is that you can be vulnerable in your writing, and still make an impact.